Garen Trent, Mogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And before we hop into the deck tech, I want to give a shout outs to this view right here, man. I don't know, I just opened my client and I saw, like, I never really focused too much on the city. I assume this is Zon. Correct me in the comment section down below if I'm wrong, by the way, but I assume because it's Jinx that this is, you know, a view of Zon, and I just, you know, want to appreciate, or at least show appreciation for the art in this game. Like, every time I open my client and I see like a different environment, it's just really pretty, and it makes me happy, honestly. So I felt like, you know, talking a little bit about it. With that having said, English, we're going to be talking about Garen's Elnuks, today's deck, which is a Demacia Freljord list. I haven't really showcased much Demacia on the channel, and I feel like I want to start changing that, as I started off yesterday with a Heimerdinger Lux control list, and today we're going to showcase a more beefy sort of mid-range approach at capitalizing on Troop of Elnuks, which is a card that flew under the radar like crazy, and all of a sudden is seeing a lot of play, not only in these sorts of mid-range decks with rally support, but also in the easy Freezy, as I like to call it, Ezreal Frost combo deck. We've seen people run the Elnuk package there, because it turns out that this is just a very, very powerful and efficient way of building up a board in just one turn, right? So the idea of this deck specifically, which by the way I got from a private Discord that I'm a part of, it's where a lot of the top players from Runeterra reside, and I think this is the first time that I showcase a deck from said Discord, but I found it very interesting, and I played it in yesterday's stream and I liked it. This deck is not like super amazing in the sense that I wouldn't label it tier 1, because I think it has a lot of very bad matchups, like for example control decks, combo decks in general. Like the easy Freezy matchup is pretty rough. Heimerdinger decks are also tough to face, and what this deck does really well though is it takes on the likes of, I think the best matchup that this deck has in the metagame is potentially the Shadow Isles Fearsome deck, because while they try to flood the board with Fearsomes and Spiders, once you reach turn 5 and you play that Troop of Elnuks, all of a sudden your creatures are bigger than theirs, and they are not afraid either. Your Elnuks will take on the Mist Wraiths and the Wraith Callers really easily, and you will be able to overpower them, right? The elusive matchup is also, you know, not bad at all. I say it's 50-50. It depends on how crazy their opener are, but we have Purify in this deck, which is extremely good against elusives. That's for 2 mana and at burst speed, which means it cannot be denied. We take away all the buffs and the elusive keyword from their units, which can enable us for some surprise blocks that stop their onslaught, especially after they, you know, proactively or premeditated. I'm terrible like talking today. Like preemptively. There we go. After they preemptively go for back-to-back to buff their elusives and try to finish you off, you can just 2 mana Purify their biggest elusive, take away all the buffs and the elusive status, and then proceed to declare a blocker onto it, which is really neat. That's why we also have a 1-off of On Guard to be able to deal with those elusive decks a little bit better, and a tree of a full set of single combat, which I like a lot with our beefy Elnuks, our Avaros and Hearthguard, and more than anything with our boy Garen. As you can see, we're running 2 copies of Garen. Garen has not seen much representation in Legends of Runeterra, and I think he's a really solid champion. It's just that, you know, he's pretty straightforward in what he does, and he kind of fits these sorts of mid-rangey shells, right? Garen has a very, very neat interaction with strike effects, right? What I mean by that is cards like Single Combat or even Whirling Death, which is why I want to build the Demacia Noxus deck with the Garen in the future, is what really makes Garen shine. Because if you can, you know, get Garen to fight other units and you make good use of his regeneration and you level him up, all of a sudden you get to basically attack every round, which is very, very powerful. And also his 6/6 stat line makes him an excellent blocker to the likes of Hecarim from Shadow Isles. I've had really good success with Garen taking on Hecarim in that matchup, and that's why I really like him in this deck. So the game plan is pretty straightforward. We have a solid curve of 1-drops, 2-drops, you know, with our Omen Hawk pumping up our deck, then Iceville Archer and Lucian as a great defensive and offensive 2-drop to go for, and then we go on to Lauren Protege with the Challenger. We're playing this over Fiora because I prefer the stat line when pairing him with Freljord as a 3/5 Challenger challenger is much better than a 4/4 challenger. In my opinion, you really do value resilience in your challenger units, and if you hit that 3 attack, that's pretty much all you need for the vast majority of threats you want to be picking off the board in the early to mid stages of the game. We have Senna, because we're playing Lucian. Senna with Lucian works really, really well for obvious reasons. Vanguard Redeemer as a 2-of. Vanguard Sergeant for Demacia alongside Rally can be incredibly powerful, and with our ability to swarm the board with Elnuks, we can get some very beefy, you know, buffs and tremendous value out of this 6-mana slow spell. And alongside Relentless Pursuit, that's basically where this deck really shines. Building up a very strong board and then going for multiple rallies on the opponent and just absolutely overwhelming them, forcing them to block into your huge board, them losing their offensive presence, and then you just killing them. Though this sort of tactic, like I said, does make us vulnerable to control decks. And there's all sorts of poor matchups for this deck right now. I wouldn't classify this deck as tier 1 by any means, but it's still a very fun deck and has some strong matchups in the meta, and overall I had a good time playing it, so I felt like I could share it with you guys, and it's a good chance for you to see the true power of the Troop of Elnuks. This card is just pretty insane, and the fact that it's been seeing a lot of play recently goes to show how many people slept on this supposed meme of a card combo, which turns out to be inherently very powerful. So yeah, I think you guys will enjoy today's games. It's a bit of a nice change of pace, as like I said, I don't tend to showcase this sort of archetype too often on the channel, and yeah, I had fun with it. So without further ado, hopefully enjoy the matches. Subscribe for more Runeterra content from your favorite fake Brazilian card boy, and I will stop talking this whole day, and I'll see you tomorrow. The whole Elnuk concept has a lot of potential. Definitely a lot of potential, but it's just about finding the right balance. Like we need more reactive potential, I think. Okay, I like that Omen Hawk there. I like the Prismatic Barrier, and I honestly like the Redeemer too, but I would like to fish for a 2-drop. So I'm actually gonna mulligan away the Redeemer. We get an Elnuk, which is not ideal. We want these in our deck. We don't want to draw them. But that's also one of the problems with this deck, right? And with the Elnuk package in general. That's a 2-drop though, which is fantastic. And you know, at the end of the day, like a 4-mana 4/5 is not bad at all. We may just want to get the attack off here, because our opponent could have a turn. He could have an Elise, so we guarantee the 1 damage. Well, we don't guarantee. We could get Vile Feasted, but I don't know if you want to Vile Feast this. Because if I drop the Avarosis Sentry and he plays an Elise, I get no damage on him, and that's a very likely scenario. So getting the 1 hit off on him, you know, that 1 damage can go a long way.
See the Devastian border from here.
We're gonna have to trade this Hawk into the Spider that she generates, which will enable a spear. So I'm not sure if that's actually the best plan, but because I actually don't want to play into a spear, I'm actually gonna pass here. Now I can play Senna.
Sentinels of light don't fear the dark.
All right. Never mind, we're going Protege.
Who does not know the name Laurent?
Protege is just like much better than Fiora when he gets the buff, actually. Because his stat line is just so much better once you buff it. Like, the health makes a difference.
For the homestead.
I'm gonna attack.
So young.
That's a good hit off. Alright, that's fine.
Look out for reavers. These will not take long.
Stand down.
Do we care so much about that? I don't think we do, right? To be fair, no.
Alert the village!
Ooh. Could be better. Could be worse.
My heart and sword for Demacia.
Ho 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 ho.
Break their ranks!
Perfect, perfect. I expected him to do that. I expected him to do that, so I can do this. And now this. And level up Garen, which is fucking fantastic. Yeah, Garen is actually good, man. Garen's good. Not a 3 of, but I do like him as a 2 of here.
We must not relent!
Garen's actually very much decent. We got rid of Hecarim right there. It's so powerful. We get back our health and we rally here, which is the fucking tits. The tits. Why did I draw this now? Did the other cards get shuffled after that happens to the bottom? Is that how that works? Because I assume that if he summons each Elnuk in the top 10 cards of my deck, I'm still gonna draw the other cards, but I guess that's not how that works. Regardless, we're gonna be playing you. Because these are good blockers, man. We block you into you. We block you into you. You into you. And you into you. I mean, he could have, like, double Mark of the Isles. That would really suck, but that could be a thing. Ain't nobody got time for that. Surprise, motherfucker. Oh, okay. Well, he wasted his last cards to deal with this. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with both. Forcing a trade here. We're gonna try to capitalize on him here. Look what we just drew. Look what we just drew.
We fight for those who cannot.
Shadow approaches.
Demacia!
Gotcha. Gotcha, baby. All right. I want to keep these. I want to drop everything else though. But I don't know, I really want the triple Elnuks in my hand. It just feels like such a power play. Even though keeping this card in my hand may be detrimental, because I have more chances of drawing into other Elnuks, right? And thus weakening it, like I just did there. But I'm so excited whenever I see this card that I want to keep it.
Where's my axe?
I'm gonna play the Hawk and I'm gonna use it as a blocker here.
I'll do better this time.
We prevent 3 damage there. That's not good. Yeah, probably should always mulligan away these.
I can do this.
We're taking a lot of damage. This is a disaster. I mean, this is gonna happen with this deck sometimes, right? But definitely should have mulliganed.
Discipline and steel.
I mean, these are still good. They're still 4 mana, 5/6. You know, like that's a lot of stats. That's a lot of stats.
First one's free.
We want to get rid of this.
Explosives primed.
Who's gonna get in my way? I protect my own. Noxus lives on.
We're already pretty damn low.
Our ancestors are watching.
Push back the darkness.
I have to keep the purify because I have to purify this, otherwise I just die to get excited. I'm pretty close to dead anyways, if I'm not dead already, which, you know, would be very likely. Alright, GG. So we got a bit smoked there. Maybe we have to reevaluate our curve a little bit. Alright, let's take a look here. I mean, our curve is not bad. We have a good amount of 2-drops and 3-drops, honestly. Like, our curve is not bad at all. I think that game was an error on my end. Like, it was a mistake. As I should not have. I got too excited and I kept the Elnuks, right? When I should mulligan for a proper curve, especially when I'm facing an aggro deck like that. Like right here, I should mulligan everything that's not the Lucian. And hope for something like this, you know? Like, this is the proper sort of starting hand that we need. So, if we see the Elnuk, we gotta tone down our excitement a little bit. We gotta put them back in the deck because, you know, that game, like, we drew two 5-drop Elnuks and that was a disaster, especially considering the matchup, right? So, it's easy to blame the deck. Like, it's very easy when you're playing, like, and you make some clear mistakes like that. It's very easy to say, oh, well, the deck sucks, but you gotta put the blame on yourself first. Make sure that you did. If you did everything right, then sure, fine, you're free to go. But if that's not the case, then
There's a chill in the air.
I'm gonna play Lucian here, and I'm gonna drop Senna as well.
In the field.
Thank you.
Hachi.
Oh wow.
Burn away the shadows.
Come on.
Hachi, come. Hey. Good boy.
No. Wait, he's gotta be careful here, though. Like, if he kills one of these two, if he kills, like, one of these first, the other one will level up, right? So I'm gonna play the Omen Hawk.
You monster!
I'm worried about drawing an Elnuk with this. I'm actually worried about drawing an Elnuk. I'm gonna draw an Elnuk, but fuck it.
Today we turn the tide of war!
Okay, we didn't. Alright. Black Spear? Black Spear, alright.
Purity, peace.
No Elnuk now? Good stuff. Alright, let's do this. I mean, could be better. Could be worse. I'll take it. I mean, this stat-wise, this is fantastic, right? For five mana, I'm getting a 3/3 and a 4/5. That's pretty good. We're gonna try to be the bullies here. Trading this with that, it's fantastic. Beautiful.
Virtue guides me.
All right. That's a bit spooky because that thing can single-handedly just bring him back into the game. Oh! Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Bro, I'm just going in. Maybe we should be running 3 Purifies in this deck, man. No, I mean, we can't justify it. Like, there's so many matchups in which the card is actually pretty underwhelming. 2/2 is fine.
Will be scoured from this land.
Denied. No lifesteal for you. Alright, somebody's generating a wall. You still have like 2 more bodies to block here, bruh. One more. The odds are if I attack with all these, he has some sort of answer, but what can he play? What can he play that can just deny me this? I kind of just want to play the Avarice and Hearthguard into Lucian here.
We fight for one Freljord.
Though if he doesn't play anything, I will just attack directly because I'm not going to play into a Ruination. Got him. Got him. Purify, absolutely clutch there. Absolutely clutch. Super clutch. How do I feel about Cithria the Bold? Well, let's keep it like this. Alright, round 2. Is Fiora necessary? Not really. Not really at all. I mean, we saw how good Purify was there. So I kind of want to keep it again for the same reason. Like, Purify actually stops a lot of his things. Like, it also counters his Curse Keeper. Purify is good in this matchup. We're going to keep it. This is a good looking curve here. Good reactive tools. Early game. Challengers are nice to force Lucian Rally. Yeah, but you can have Lauren Protege. Look at that. Thanks, beautiful.
I put a little bit of peppermint as well.
Alright, thank you.
A chica.
Savior worlds. We speak with blades.
We're gonna go Fiora here.
Making the dead deader.
It's actually annoying. I'm gonna pass. Makes me kind of wish I dropped Senna instead, but I wanted to threaten, like, for example, like a Lucian if he drew into it. I mean, this Fiora still applies a lot of pressure. As long as I have her on the board. I obviously can't play Senna now, but I can go for the Vanguard Sergeant. I think that's legit.
Discipline and steel.
We still can float out 3 mana.
My gun does the talking.
I think we purify this, right? I mean, no, I mean, he's trading 2 for 1. I think I'm okay with this, actually. I'm okay with this. I can just do this, though. Just to eliminate that one. I want to keep the Purify.
I'm what nightmares fear.
We march!
Stay back. Fight on.
Radiant.
I fight for the fallen.
Our strength is yours!
This Avaros and Hearthguard being a 6/6 is a big deal, as it will.
Stand and defend! Strike hard, strike fast!
No, if I do this, I take a shitload of damage. Like right now, I'm going down to 8. If I do that, I'm going down to 3. I do get to wipe out his board. But is it worth me sacrificing so much damage? No, that's not true. That's not true. What am I talking about? Like the 5 damage, the 5 damage that I take, unless he has another Mark of the Isles, the 5 damage that I take here, I'm mitigating. I'm subtracting from that anyways. So this is absolutely. I had a bit of a brain fart there. I'm not losing 5 health because I'm clearing that unit from the board. So right now, I am running out of gas though, and I do. Oh, I was running out of gas. I was. I think I'm okay with just like trampling him here. I do enable Black Spear here, but it doesn't seem like he has it. We do have 4 Demacia here. He would need like a Mark of the Isles or something. What if he has like a Rasa? But he would need double Mark of the Isles here to kill me. I could just go for this immediately. Like going for this in the middle of the attack enables me to get him. 2-0, baby. Yeah, Rasa incoming, but it doesn't matter because if I go for the Relentless Pursuit there, I get to attack him before he can Rasa me back. So I just friendly. That's the beautiful thing about Relentless Pursuit, man. It's just like I can just snap it into the middle of the combat phase, and it's just like, hey, you either have a way to, you know, deal with my board right now at fast speed, or you're just dead. How is this deck versus elusives? Pure elusives is actually not bad at all because Purify is really good against them. We struggle more so against like Ezreal builds because we don't really have ways to block Ezreal early on, and he gets a lot of value against us. And Frostbite is also pretty strong against us. So like Ezreal Frostbite is a tough one. I'm not sure how we would do against Ashe though. Okay, I like this. I'm gonna mulligan away these 2. I'm gonna keep turn 2 Lucian and turn 3 Sergeant. There's the Elnuks. That's a problem for our Lucian. could play Lucian here, or I could just wait, honestly, and play the Hawk instead. Because he's got this tracker, right? So we get to float more spell mana.
Soldiers, to me.
I'm gonna play the Sergeant here. Is the Sergeant the correct play? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Like, I don't think attacking with Omen Hawk just I don't think that's ever the right play. But you can make an argument for just playing Lucian here. Regardless, we're gonna pass. Skitter just says no, stops us in our tracks. We do have a beefed up Redeemer here. This Hawk does stop the tracker from, like, the tracker's not happy about attacking as long as this Hawk is on the board, because he doesn't want to challenge. This is not a good board state for the Hawk. Alright, now we definitely need some extra defenses. And I think the only way to properly set that up is to go for another Sergeant.
Soldier is worth tenfold.
Stephanie with the huge cheers. What did that say? When you get a second, would you mind me asking what microphone you have? I have the ATB 2020. That's the name, right? So let me check it. It's the AT 2020.
You will not prevail.
We'll take 3 damage here.
Avenge me.
We trade into the bird, which is neat. But that's pretty much our turn. Our opponent could go for a Vile Feast or a Black Spear here. I'd rather see a Black Spear, naturally. Regardless, next turn, I believe it may just be... No, I think I want to go Avarice and Hearthguard first. Yeah, there's a Vile Feast, alright. I think we do go Elnuks. I think we do go Elnuks. We always go Elnuks. Of course we go Elnuks. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's just so satisfying, dude. That's so fucking powerful. That is ridiculous. The amount of board presses I generate out of nowhere, dude. And with Prismatic Barrier backup, is it Christmas? Is it Christmas, boys? All of a sudden, I'm with dominant board state. I'm okay with this, right? I'm definitely okay with this. We keep the barrier for later. We keep the mana, like the spell mana. We have a lot of utility for it. Alright. There's the Dawn speakers.
Our allies did not fall in vain.
Alright, we gotta keep going here. What do we do? I'm not against like Senna into Lucian into you, but that just fills up my hand. Like I could also just go Omen Hawk into Hearthguard.
Come closer.
I don't bite. I think I just really like... I'm gonna go with Hearthguard first no matter what, right?
We fight for one Freljord.
These 4 Damasias
Grow up so fast.
are really gonna end up making a difference. There's no point in me playing this though, because it doesn't even serve as a it does serve as a chump blocker actually, but I already have one of them. Maybe it's fine playing one of these though. No, I don't want to clog up my board like that. I'm gonna wait.
You won't suffer long. So young.
That's a lot of stats, but we're gonna try to overwhelm them with this.
Be strong. These are dark times.
We have a total of 10 mana.
Push back the darkness. Not and ready.
Mom spaghetti. And now we go for this. For Demacia! And we try to overwhelm him. You gotta do more blocking than that, son. What's a Dawn Speakers to a Sergeant? Like, Sergeant, this is why we play Sergeant in this deck, ladies and gentlemen. This is why, for these mid-range wars. The value here is just absurd. I still threaten lethal! I still threaten lethal! I'm gonna wipe out his board, man. I'm actually gonna wipe out his entire board. Nice Dawn Speakers you got there, son. Oh my fucking god, dude. Rasa me? Like, what is a Rasa even? What do I even care about a Rasa right now? My lord, this is power. I call that desperate fishing. Son, you need a ruination. Nothing else even comes close to dealing with this. Board state, and I got another one. Okay, that's decent. Alright, just 5 more huge ass motherfuckers to go. You got this. Running out of cards though, brother. Oh my god, dude. I'm gonna play Senna.
You're late.
You're early.
Can I get me some easies in the chat, please? That was clean. You playing Yasuo anytime again soon? I'll get back to Yasuo eventually. But it's not like one of my priorities. Oh. Is this my Teemo deck? This may be my Teemo deck. It's mulling away you. I actually don't mind the archer here, even though... No, it gets vile feasted. So I'm just gonna drop all these. That looks better. We want to keep the single combat to be able to interact with Teemo early on.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Turn 1 Teemo. Yeah, this is my Teemo deck. Alright.
I'll scout ahead. Size doesn't mean everything.
I'm gonna go ahead and play Lucian.
Push back the darkness.
Hopefully we don't see a Mystic Shot here. Why do I even open my mouth?
Failed.
You did. But Lauren Protege
Break their spirits and their souls.
is very hard for him to stop.
Have a mushroom.
Have 3.
Heard about you.
At 3 mana I can't really deal with it because my deck does play Thermogenic Beam. I cry every time. I hate killing Teemo. I really do. I die a little bit inside, but
I got ways to find me mushroom.
I could play the Elnuk here as a blocker. It just kind of like stops him on his tracks. What's the benefit of playing the Archer instead? Like, what do I gain from playing the Archer here? If I play the Archer, I can float some mana for next turn, but it's not like... If I play the Archer in Relentless Pursuit, how good is that? It's pretty terrible. I think we just drop an Elnuk here.
Winter take you.
I think we want to use an Archer offensively, so that we can actually,
Me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
A true Freljordian welcome. Harry, riposte. Hard. Fair. Arrows at the ready.
Excuse you.
I'm gonna go for the single combat on the peddler because the peddler can start. Like I know how my deck works, right? The peddler is actually like a very, very important component of the deck. As you know, he can start playing all these mushroom clouds and getting extra ones. Like that goes a long way. So we're gonna try to surprise him with Relentless Pursuit here. We could even double up on it. Depends on what he does.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk. Or once, am I right?
A Demacian soldier is worth tenfold.
Another day in the field.
I'll pick 'em, you plan 'em, kid.
Uh-oh. Do we go for a full-on attack here? No, I think we float the mana. Okay, so what happens next turn? We're gonna have a total of 7, potentially 10 mana. With 10 mana, we can do this. No, we have to play you, because then we have a total of 7, 8 mana. That means we still can't do this and this. Which means no matter what I do, I have to be content with this board state.
Pay dirt. They grow up so fast.
Uh-oh. 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 If I go for the Relentless Pursuit now, I don't really gain much. I can kill Teemo. But I think I definitely have to,
Adventure starts with mushrooms.
Uh-oh. My own creation. Used to destroy me? Alright. Right, go forward, Demacia.
Stand strong.
Run them through. Aha! Aye, roar. Would a mushroom help?
We're gonna go with this.
Oh, that's a harvest right there.
I love this Teemo deck. It's so fucking fun to play.
Died as you lived. Smelly.
Got him. Bittersweet. Bittersweet killing my Teemo deck. I cry every time. But I also really like how how much work this card is putting in. The Vanguard Sergeant. For Demacia with Rally is pretty insane.